I want to completely overhaul the rear brake system on this four-wheel drive Vauxhall Nova. And as you can see, it's running a heavily modified, shortened Calibra Turbo rear subframe axle assembly. And the existing rear brakes are currently very rusty and not very intact. So I want to strip these down, renew all the serviceable parts and rebuild it and incorporate the Calibra handbrake system into the Nova handbrake lever and make it all work. But before I can do all that, I need to fit some new subframe bushes. Now these brackets here, they're heavily modified. That is not how it should be standard. I've made these when I shortened the subframe, but I never fitted any front bushes. I fit the back ones, but never the front ones. So first things first, I need to drop this down, put some poly bushes in. Now remember, as it stands, I'm just doing a quick test fit build. The body won't be restored until it's driven and tested accordingly. So try not to worry about the lack of paint, etc. That will get done eventually, and it will be mint one day. But for now, all I want to do is make it mechanically sound so I can take it on a test track and make sure it drives okay, and then I'll restore it. So now the bushes are done, it's time to take the wheels off and start doing the brakes. Now these discs are slightly unusual because we've got a built-in drum for the handbrake assembly. There's one Phillips screw holding it together and it should just slide off, but when the handbrake's worn, sometimes it can be a little bit awkward. So I'm no expert on brakes, but I'm pretty certain they needed changing. Right, so the next job is to clean up the mating surface on the hub flange. I also clean up the centre because this is on show and I want to paint it so it looks a bit better. Once I'm happy with the flange, I degrease it and use a bit of X primer. I then take the retaining clips out of the brake shoes, pull back the springs, which is a little bit awkward, and remove the brake shoe assembly. Now you can see here there's a basic lever set up at the bottom. The handbrake cable pulls on that, which expands the shoes and locks the drum. Quite simple. So we're now onto the rebuild. I start off by wire wheeling the adjuster and greasing it all up so it operates smoothly. I then fit the new shoes and new springs and the new retaining clips. Now the disc shields aren't in the best condition, but the centre of them do retain the brake shoes. So I decide just to cut the outer edge off and clean it up. I then paint the centre of the hub flange silver and start work on the brake calipers. So the calipers have clearly been painted lots of times over the years. So what I want to do is strip it all off and make sure everything's in good condition and it all works. So I got the brake pad pins out to start off with, just use a punch for this. Then I push the pistons in, make sure they operate freely, which they do, and I wire wheel the calipers and remove as much paint as I can. And once I'm happy with them, I degrease them and then give them a good couple of coats of X primer, followed by some gloss black. Now don't they look better already? So there we go, that's the brake caliper all stripped back, X primed and painted, and it looks a lot better. I'm really chuffed with it. So the next job is to fit it onto this, put the brake pads in, and then repeat the process on the other side. So this caliper is held on with 2 bolts and should be a really easy job. But as always in the car modification world, things don't go to plan. We have one very big, massive, huge, colossal problem. Old brake disc, new brake disc. Same size. Problem is offset is different. I don't know if you can see that. But basically, the disc sits inbound around, what, 8mm more than this one. Meaning, the brake caliper does not fit. And that is a little bit of a problem, isn't it? Or a lot of a problem. Bagger. It's about an hour later and a bit dirty because I've been using the time to clean some parts up. Now, I'm going to have to get some new rear discs, unfortunately. That is a pain. They seemed a bit of a bargain online. The ones that I kind of need now are about 120 quid for 2. I'm hopefully going to find some a bit cheaper than that because that seems a little bit extortionate. But anyway, what I can do in the meantime is start working out all the brake lines, etc. So these are the original rear brake lines off my spare axle. Now they're steel ones and they're in really good condition. I've given them a quick sand down and a bit of black paint just to give them a bit more longevity, but they are in really good condition. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick the brake caliper on. I'm going to put this steel line on. Then I'm going to use my Nova braided hoses on this axle and see roughly where they need to be. Then we're going to start making some brackets to hold all that into place. So we're now at the point in the video where I'm going to ask you guys to subscribe. So obviously these videos take a lot of time. And they also take quite a lot of money. So subscribing helps the channel. It's completely free to do so. and it helps me make this kind of content for you guys. If you enjoy it, like the video, subscribe and share it with your friends. So there we go, that is the brake caliper on, brake pipe going to the Nova braided hose. Now this is a Goodrich hose, I've had them years, they're a bit better quality than the standard ones, they shouldn't flex as much. So I want to reuse them because they're still in good condition. Right, so the plan is I'm going to make a little bracket what holds this hose here, comes off the chassis leg, just welds on. I'm going to make new brake pipes going front to rear. That's the plan. First off, I get a bit of 2mm steel sheet which I've got in the scrap bin, just an offcut. I mark a 30mm strip of it, put some holes in it, cut it all out, fold it in the vise, and there we have it. Hose fits in nicely, and this is ready to be welded on. Right, and there she is. So, as you can see, 90-degree bracket, put 2 holes in it, one for the hose and one to weld it. And that is literally going to weld on something like that. The brake pipe's going to come out at a 90-degree and then run down the chassis leg. Right, so I've just clamped this bracket up just to make sure that's kind of the right place. Next job, I just want to unbolt this shock absorber just to make sure I've kind of got a full range of travel. I don't want it to catch on anything. I don't think it will, but I just want to check. And yeah, and we can weld the bracket on. There we go, that goes up and down nicely. There's no strain on the hose, so that should do the job perfectly. So I'm going to put the shock back on and then stick the bracket on. So there we go, that is that side welded on nice and solid. So now I need to order some brake lines and some brake discs. So the cables, they're far too long. Ooh, they're very too long. I was hoping they would end about the right place. I suppose that was naive of me really to think that, because they actually end somewhere near the gear stick. And I need them to end somewhere near the passenger seat really. So I've kind of got that much too long. So I'm gonna have to have a bit of a think about that. Think how I'm gonna do that. So these do need modifying, and I don't think I should do it just yet. I think I should get the prop on first, because these are gonna need cutting down, and I just don't want to do it and then realise they're in the way of the prop. So yeah, I'd rather do that last. It's only a handbrake, it's not the end of the world anyway. But yeah, a little bit annoying that they're so far too long, but such is life. Can't do a lot about it. So it's 3 days later, and now the parts have arrived. So what we got? So we've got some conifer brake line. Now this is like a copper nickel brake line. It's stronger than copper. It's not as hard as steel, and it's kind of, in my opinion, the best kind of stuff to use to make brake lines. Steel rots out, copper's too soft. This is perfect. We've also got some fittings in there, and some, as you can see, some brake pipe clips. Just cheapo ones. So I'm going to bolt them to the underside of the vehicle, so all fastens on nicely. And the correct brake disc, hopefully. Perfect. So, believe it or not, these are actually quite difficult to get hold of. So I tried getting a standard set that weren't drilled and grooved, but every company I went to said they're out of stock. Can't get them for whatever reason. There was some on eBay at extortionate prices, but I didn't want to pay that much. These are M-Tech brake discs. Obviously, they're drilled and grooved, so performance brakes, and they were £75 delivered for 2, so not too bad. So these ones I got originally were a bit of a bargain at 40 quid. However, they don't fit. I think they're from a Cab V6. I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm going to sell these and fit these. Right, let's get them on there. So I always grease the mounting flanges before I put this on. Not everybody agrees with this, but it's the way I've been taught, and it's never done me any harm. Put the retaining screw in the disc, then bolt the caliper up. It's got a couple of 90mm bolts holding it on, and then the brake pads are really simple. They just slide in. Again, I put a bit of grease on these, put new pins in. Again, these just knock in easily with a bit of grease, and then there's like an anti-rattle spring. This hooks underneath. Finally, I set the handbrake up using a flat screwdriver. You basically got to turn the wheel around till it's tight, hit it with a hammer a few times, lock it off so it's absolutely solid, then wind it back about half a turn. Simple as that. Right, so next job is to connect the front to rear brake lines. Now these were the brake lines which were on the front. They did have a joiner underneath. These have been made in conifer years and years ago. So what I've done, I've taken them off. I've straightened them a little bit because we're going to reroute it. Now originally where this went is where the transfer boxes go in, so they can't route down there. So I've come up with a new plan. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to feed these through that hole down there, which is a factory hole, and then I can bend them and route them exactly how I want. Another thing I've done, just for a little bit of protection and safety, I've put a little bit of silicone tube on, as you can see. So this is going to go through the hole and act as a grommet. It's a nice tight fit, and it's just going to stop these brake lines rattling around. Right, let's get these fitted. Right, so that's just feeding through straight down that hole. I loosely put them on. So I've just put the rubber sleeves over the pipes there, and I've clamped this little bracket like so. So that bracket's just like a folded bit of metal which clamps around it. It's a bit crude, it's a bit obsolete. So when we take the engine out, I will be cutting that off and then putting a proper plastic clip there. So I just think it looks better. Right, as you can see, that's the brake line straight through there. And to be fair, it routes really nicely, a lot better than factory. So next job, I need to bend them and fasten them to here. Now this is one of them tabs which I don't like. I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to drill it, put a riv nut in, and then bolt one of them plastic clips up. Now I love using this tool. So it's a riv nut tool. Riv nut means a riveted nut. So it's basically like a sleeve nut you knock in. You can get them in various sizes, and then the tool rivets it up, basically clamps it in, and they're really good for doing things like this. They do a really nice factory finish. And there we go, that is that section done. One little clip, I've just used that as well, which is a factory clip, but like I say, when I restore the car properly, I probably will cut all these off. But I thought, as it's there, I might as well make it as secure as possible. Right, so that, the near side hose, and that is the offside hose, perfect. So now I need to extend it from there to there. So the plan was to follow the factory lines as much as possible. So as this bit of floor is original, I follow where the original brake lines go. When it gets to the back end, as the chassis legs are all custom made, I have to go a little bit rogue. So I've just routed them in the most obvious way, essentially. Try and keep them out of the way of the prop shaft and all the other little things. I try and make sure there's going to be enough clips to hold everything into place. It's not going to rattle or vibrate. Once all the clips are on, I put some M6 bolts through it with washers, makes them nice and strong. Now, if you want to know where I've got all this stuff from, let me know in the comments below. Right, so all the brake pipe clips are now fitted to the chassis. Next job is to start making the pipes up. Right, so I've got my 3/16 brake pipe. This is standard size for most cars. I've got my nut on it. I'm going to put it in the tool. This fits essentially in here, and what you're meant to do is line the end up with the end of the tool there. So it's going to go in like so. Then I'm going to lock it off. And then what I want is an op1 end. Op1, which is punch one, which gives it a convex end. Then all we do is line it up, pull the lever. And there we go, that's giving it a nice perfect end. Right, we'll fit this to the car and go from there. So what I've done, I've just bent the basic shape of where this brake pipe needs to go. I've used a brake pipe bender, which is this tool here. It's pretty cheap and it just gives it a nice finish. So next job, I'm going to start fitting it. And then obviously it's going to need cutting down because I've kind of made it a little bit too long. This end's going to fit nicely, and then I need to cut it down somewhere down there and then put the correct end on the other end. So let's get that fitted. Right, now I need to work out the length, which wants to be, I'd say, about there. That'll allow for a little bit of crimping. Right, so this is the same as the other one, but it's an op2. So we're doing an op2 fitting on this end. So op1 is basically flared that way. Op2 puts a little centre in the middle of that, so it's sort of 45-degree centre. So op1 can fit inside op2. So that's the op1. And that's the op2. You can see there's a nice little tapered centre in it. Right, so that is one side. Done. I'm chuffed with that. Right, we're on to the second part now. This is the offside one. I've done it slightly different. I put this adapter on, which makes it slightly different because it's going to have two male ends, two op1 ends, whereas the other pipe has an op1 and an op2 fitting. So I've done that for two reasons. A, it staggers the joint slightly, and B, it means if I ever take the pipes off, I can't put them back on in the wrong order. They're handed. You can't get it wrong, basically. So I've made it idiot-proof. Right, let's start making the pipe. So it's exactly the same process as before. Now, first top tip from me is to make sure you slide your nut on before you flare it. The amount of times I've not done this, I've realised afterwards and I've had to cut the end off. And obviously, if you make it the right length in the first place, the pipe's going to be too short. Second top tip is don't do it like I'm doing it. I'm doing it as I go along. I would advise measuring the pipe first and using a bit of string. I've done countless amount of brake pipes over the years and I'm more than confident doing it. However, I'm aware this is probably the slightly harder way. And my final top tip is to make sure you put your bends in the right place, because this stuff only bends once or twice before it starts getting a bit brittle. And there we go. That is that side. All done front to rear. Next job, bleed the brakes. Right, so I've been round, I've checked all bleed nipples to make sure they're free. They are. I filled it with racing brake fluid. I'm using a pressure bleeder, and the next job is to crack the nipples off and get all the air out. It's going to use an old bottle. Put a hose in, off the bleed nipple. And there we go. That's that. You can see all the air coming out there. Obviously, this is a new brake line, new brake calipers. It's going to be full of air. 2 down, 2 to go. Again, I don't advise you doing it this way. You meant to do the rears first and then the fronts, but hey ho, it'll be fine. Last one. And again, look at all the bubbles coming out. All done. So, next job, we're going to quickly check for brake leaks. All the fittings I've put on, everything looks good so far. All good. Beautiful. So that's that. I've just pumped the pedal up and it feels awesome. There's no leaks. I'm super stoked, really pleased. So that's the entire rear brake system done, with the exception of the handbrake, which I'm going to do in a later video once the prop shaft's done. So we're going to wrap the video up there. Once again, this has taken several weeks to film. So if you did enjoy it, please show your support by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more. I don't know what we're going to be doing next time, but we'll be doing soon to the full before Vauxhall Nova. See you later, guys. Bye-bye. And you've probably worked out already, but my garage is an absolute tip. So I've got a day off work to try and get this squared up a little bit because it's an absolute hellhole. So hopefully in the next video, it will look a bit nicer in here.